Do you have to be talented to be famous? And sometimes the greatest is underrated.
On this episode of Simply Necessary Conversations.
I almost said overrated, but I fixed it. Let's start out with trending topics. I feel like this is something that I've been debating with my coworkers about, because we're all different age ranges and we're all in media. Is the concept of being a celebrity getting a little bit too worked down? Is it a little bit too easy? A lot of people are saying that reality TV show stars and influencers shouldn't be famous if they don't actually have some legitimate talent. So I want to hear your Gen X take on, do you think we're kind of watering down what a celebrity or being a celebrity means or requires in this generation?
And a short answer, yes.
I knew you were going to say that.
Yes, because some of these people that y'all talk about, I'm like, but what can they do? Like, what are they, what is their talent? Yeah, but I can go into KFC and see somebody behind the counter that has the talent of some of the people that people talk about every day and make a big deal about. There are some that have become famous and they deserve the fame, like they have genuine talent.
Yeah.
But there are a lot of them that it's like either they're famous for doing stuff that is stupid or famous for doing stuff that is, to me, unethical and crazy. So I think the word celebrity has lost its power because, like, everybody's a celebrity.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say that this whole everybody's a celebrity thing started with Kim Kardashian.
Yeah,
that's where we, I don't want to say that's where we went
of.
downhill, but that's where celebrity went from being a singer or an actor or a dancer or having some special skill or being super smart, whatever, went to, oh, I'm just cute and I wear clothes and y'all want to be like me.
Or just having money and living a lifestyle that other people can envy and want to emulate. So, she was maybe not the first, but one of the first. And, celebrity doesn't mean a whole lot these days.
I would also argue that it's a little bit of hateration to even care if someone has a talent, if they're famous. I feel like, because if I could get paid to just sit around and be cute and eat food and wear clothes, I'd do it. But I mean, it wouldn't be necessarily a talent. But why are you knocking someone else's?
I'm not hating. I'm observing. I'm not hating because
but there are people that
if they can get paid, like who wouldn't want that? Like right now, if somebody told me I'm gonna pay you just to let me film you living your life and
so you want to be Kai Cenat
and having a good time, my everyday job is over. Like I'm not going back. But
I will say I do think this type of celebrity creates an unrealistic standard for young people that think that they can just become mega famous, super rich influencers by not really doing much of anything. Like, I mean, Kai Cenat, when I Googled him just out of curiosity to see how much money he makes off of his live streams, according to Google, I don't know how accurate their math was based on his number of subscribers and views, but they said he makes $360,000 per stream. And all he's doing is basically like almost a Wendy Williams style interviewing of celebrities and living his life and being interesting to some people, and some people might not think he's interesting. Just showing us, like, I mean, the man literally puts the camera in the shower. So he's just showing so much of his life, and people are paying to see it. I think it's kind of weird.
Well, maybe it falls under the category of favor ain't fair. Because, I mean, there's probably literally millions of people doing what he's doing. He just happened to be the one that caught somebody's eye.
I mean, and there's like I Show Speed does the same thing. Like Phantom does the same thing.
I don't know who. See, this is what I mean. I don't know who any of these people are. Like,
I don't know why I'm saying these names. Like you know who these people are all streamers on a platform called Twitch, and they stream their lives. Some people stream because they're gamers. Some people stream because they're just interesting. Everyone has like their little niche thing. It's become the new version of vlogging on YouTube because now YouTube is for the old folks, I guess. I don't know.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Well, I'm considering myself one of the old folks in that. But
I mean, but sign me up. Sign me up. I'll be in. Now, you're not going in the bathroom in the shower with me. We're not doing that. But if you just want somebody,
sleep?
Probably not, because I don't even know what that looks like.
I would feel like I look crazy, and I wouldn't want that out there.
But otherwise, if you want me to just be entertaining, and I don't even have to act, I'm just generally entertaining, they would see some interesting stuff, especially if they rode in the car with me.
No, I feel like if we put one of those streamer cameras just sitting in grandma's house,
We're
gonna have a show. We're gonna have a show.
That's kind of how we started doing this, because people just observing us out in the public kept saying, y'all should have a show. They can't go to the bathroom with me, and I'm not telling them all my personal business, but
I will say, I feel like a lot of us included, but also a lot of influencers actually do have like some sort of expertise that makes what they're influencing a little bit more of that. Like, I went to school for mass communications. I didn't just like decide I wanted to do this.
And don't poo-poo on my stuff, because for a long time, I've been an educator, I've been an inventor, I have worked as a lifestyle expert in terms of parenting, because I mean,
you were getting like vacations for free before that was a thing.
I was doing stuff and I started doing some of what I was doing because people kept saying, you need to share, you need to share, you need to share, because people would ask me for tips or whatever. So I think if you have something to offer to the world, offer it to them, and if they like it, they'll take it, and if not, they won't.
Technically, some people deem talent as like, you can play an instrument or you can sing or you can dance. Everybody can't talk in front of a camera. So that does take a certain level of like putting yourself out there and a certain level of talent. Not saying that about us, because I'm like, whatever. But in terms of like people that kind of get hated on just for being these big celebrities that do these big things and everyone kind of wants a piece of the pie. Well, maybe it's not for you just because it's not your personality. Because you have to have the right personality in order to be as famous as some of these people have gotten to be.
And nobody's making them watch. Like, nobody's making them watch. If you don't find it interesting, don't watch. But apparently they do have an audience. They do have people that found them interesting. So I'm not hating. I'm just saying the word celebrity, it does not take the kind of talent that it used to.
Yeah.
But then we didn't always have the technology to be able to bring. It takes a certain level of expertise to just live life and pay your bills on time. 'Cause things that I used to take for granted and think, okay, this is just what people do. No, it's not.
Yeah.
Like, everybody doesn't do the same things, and things don't come as easy to everybody. Parenting doesn't come easy to everybody. Being able to offer advice, like you said, some people freeze up when they get in front of the camera. Like, so I say, don't hate, appreciate. If you don't appreciate, kick rocks, go watch something else.
When I hear people complaining about it, especially, I don't want to be mean, I don't want to be ageist, but especially when they're older and they're just like, oh, these new kids, they're just wanting to be influencers. And it's just like, if they can be an influencer and they make money off that, congratulations. Because, I mean, it beats going to a 9-to-5 and having a boss and having someone tell you what to do.
And that's probably what it is on the part of the older people. They're jealous because they had to work hard.
But I've noticed.
And they think that these people don't have to work hard. But it takes a certain amount of effort to be on all the time and to open your life up to people in the way that these streamers and stuff do. But I say if they can do it and make money off of it, God bless them, because I definitely would do it if I could.
And I mean, we technically are, but we're not getting paid for this, so.
Yet. Well, I believe in naming and claiming. We are not getting paid yet, but however, tomorrow
just
is another
to make
day.
it clear for my employers, I'm not getting paid for this. Just put that out there.
Yes. Well, but so I just feel like people poo-poo things that they don't do. As long as these people are not hurting anybody and they're not encouraging young people to do unsafe and dangerous things, then let them.
But I've also noticed just in regular interacting with people that are a little bit older in like a networking capacity, business capacity, there's some older people that are cheerleaders for you and are just like, oh, I'm so glad there's these opportunities and you had paid internships and you got a good job when you were young and then there's other older people that, especially in my industry, that had to go to Kentucky and work in like a super low media market and work their way up, which there's nothing wrong with that if that's the path that you took. But they sometimes are upset with the younger people that are coming in now that have the means and the connections and the opportunities. And it's just like, it wasn't my fault. I'm sorry.
That's just them. And I laugh because somebody said one time the reason why adults are always asking kids, what do you want to do when you grow up, is because they're looking for ideas. And so it kind of falls under that category of sometimes people don't like to see people doing things because they can't do it. Yeah. So I'm not one of those people. I say if somebody pays you to just sit in front of the camera and twiddle your thumbs, if you can make enough money to pay your bills and live your life how you want to, twiddle away.
It is.
Like, do what you can do.
What it is.
Yeah.
So good luck to all of those people, and hopefully we'll be as I don't even have to be as famous. I just want as much money as some of these influencers.
I don't want the fame. I want the fortune.
Yeah.
Y'all keep the fame. I just want the fortune. Pay
generational
me.
wealth.
Pay me to just enjoy my life. Honey,
But let's move on. So let me put y'all on. I saw someone post about this on TikTok, and I thought we should make our own list because we be watching some stuff
all the time,
and some stuff be interesting. So I thought we should compile a list of the top 5 underrated TV shows from any decade, from any genre, and kind of put some people on. So maybe this is a little bit old, or maybe this is something that's super niche, but something that more people should be looking at and watching. So would you like to go first?
I want you to go first because you're going to say I stole yours if I go first.
So the first one, which I don't even remember what year this came out, but it was early 2000 or mid 2010s, maybe like 2015. The Librarians. If y'all are nerds and y'all like a little history, fantasy, watch The Librarians. 10 out of 10 recommend. All the actors were good. It only lasted for a couple of seasons and then they canceled it.
But it's back now.
What?
It's back now. There's a new...
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. I promise you it is. I started watching it.
What do you mean you started watching it?
I started watching
it.
There are new librarians. There's a whole new... They brought it back. And by the way, Dean Devlin, the creator of the show, of course, millions of other people did too, but I tweeted to him one night and said that his show's entertainment. He responded.
You started watching this?
I just saw that. I haven't watched the series, but I saw that there was a new iteration of The Librarians, and I was like, oh, I need to check it out.
This is
it just got started. Breaking news for Imari.
This is a very timely discussion then, because apparently there's a spinoff that nobody told me nothing about.
It just started though. It's not been
out since July.
Yeah, but
that's
relatively recent.
You didn't tell me nothing.
Anyway.
So moving on from that, since apparently there is a continuation.
There is. Somebody recognized that it needed to be brought back and they brought it back.
I feel like was big when it was on, but nobody talks about it anymore now. They just harp on like The Office and the new Office spinoff. But Community was tea. I thoroughly enjoyed Community.
When I heard the title Community, I thought it was about like a community, like people living in a community. Yeah. I didn't realize, and maybe some people don't know, that Community is community college. That's why
people by now know.
I didn't know. I thought it was like a literal community, but it's community college. And that show, some of the allusions, some of the things that they chose to like spin out, that was funny to me.
And
it was hilarious.
I love a show that has like a hodgepodge of characters and different personalities for everybody to be able to like relate to. But I forget, Donald Glover and, what were their character names?
I can't remember.
Because they had a little thing, remember in the show where they were
was one of them Arvid?
I think so.
One of the characters' names was
I'm acting like I don't have access to the internet.
Yeah, that show was funny to me, and I think it was underappreciated. Yvette Nicole Brown was on there. I can't remember like the main character's name.
It was Abed? I think is how he said it.
I don't know how you pronounce it, but anyway.
I think it was Abbott. Troy.
That was Donald
Glover's character.
Okay.
But it came out in 2009 and ended in 2015. So I was
and we watched it like after it was off air, right?
Yeah, we watched it way after because I wouldn't have cared about Community at 7. So
but it was funny. It was funny, and like it was written in a very smart way. Is what I like to call intelligent humor. There was some slapstick stuff in there, but it was intelligent humor because you had to catch some of the wry jokes and the wittiness and then
there was a little bit of a little romance. You got to throw me a romance.
All of that, yeah. So I think it was underappreciated. The show that was on. Are you gonna do your whole list?
Yes,
okay, go ahead. I didn't know if we were gonna go back and forth
like that. I had already said 2, so how are we gonna go back and forth?
I didn't know.
But for the people that are scared to watch anime, Death Note. Why are you making that face? Because I can already see the judgment.
Anime.
You never tried to watch anime.
I saw enough. I was like, I don't know. And it's very violent too for it to be a cartoon.
Everything is violent. It's not a cartoon for babies. It's like a cartoon for adults.
It's very violent and sometimes.
Okay, well, Death Note. It's a mystery though. It's not like a lot of anime is usually like sci-fi or mythical, magical beings and things that don't really exist. But Death Note is literally just like a crime drama, but it's animated and it's Japanese
and people
anime.
Dying and stuff.
Well, people die. Anyway.
Yeah, it's not. it's anime, but it's not anime for kids because it's very violent, some of that.
Anytime an adult recommends anime, they're not recommending it for kids.
I'm just making sure people watching that have kids, don't let your kids just randomly be watching it because it's a cartoon, because it may not be for kids.
Well, no, that's bad parenting if you're just not monitoring what they're watching. But also, I've tried to make you watch it and you didn't. Attack on Titan is really good. I'm not the stereotypical. You wouldn't look at me and expect me to be into anime, but like it's actually pretty good. I'm not going to recommend One Piece because I'm still currently watching it and it's taking a long time.
You've been watching that for a long time, since the summer.
There's 1,000 and something episodes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I only watch it with my boyfriend. Therefore, I only have a limited amount of time to watch it, and there's 1,000 episodes, so that's going to be a minute. And I honestly wouldn't recommend, not because it's bad, just because nobody has time for that. And then this shows the multiple sides of my personality. Girlfriends, classic.
Did you steal that off my list?
No.
Are you sure?
Anyway, Girlfriends is a peak Black sitcom, and I really would rewatch it once I'm a little bit older, just because they were kind of like post-college, 30-year-old range.
Yeah, 30-something.
So it was just interesting to see, like, oh, this is what, I mean, obviously it was in the past, because the show came out in like the early 2000s, but it was interesting to see, like, oh, this is what friendships and
Black sisterhood.
Yeah, even though they had some tribulations.
There was some dysfunctional members of the sisterhood, but they didn't leave anybody behind. They were very ohana about the whole thing.
Yeah.
They did not leave anybody behind, even though there were times when some people needed to be. There were times when some people needed to be left behind,
but they did not. Character?
Until the end, and you know why I'm going to say this, it was Maya. And then Maya made me very mad. Like, Maya really did try some stuff. But up until the end of the show, I liked Maya because she was very round-away girl, very home girl, very good at parenting, being a wife. Like, she was my favorite for a while.
Tony got on my nerves.
I did not care for Tony.
Tony got on my nerves. One thing I can't stand is an uppity individual that thinks they're better than everybody else, and that's what Tony gave. Like, if I was in the show, our friendship would have expired after a point because she was a lot.
I was a blend of Maya and Joan. Like, I think I was a blend of them.
I love how unapologetically Black Tracee Ellis Ross is in anything that she does.
Yeah.
And I love the way that she played the character. Her outfits were tea. Hair was always like curly before curly was the thing to do.
Yeah. What I didn't like, I'm sorry, sir, because I don't know.
When she got with that man?
Yeah.
Nasty.
That's what you call acting. Because I was like, no. No.
I don't want to offend the actor, but
please leave that man alone. We're going to leave that right there. But that part did not make sense to me.
She looked better than he looked.
Let's just leave it right there. But yeah, that part, I was like, who wrote this? But anyway, yeah.
And I thought his character for a minute was gay. And I thought they were going to explore that.
I thought he was more nerd. I just thought he was
gay for a minute.
I didn't think
and I thought it was going to be like a whole plot point and like gay rights, pride, raw, and no.
I just thought he was a nerd. So I don't know. Anyway.
Okay, your turn.
Okay, I can't remember my whole list, so you're going to have to prompt me.
How can you not remember?
I can't remember my whole list, but I do know that Timeless was on my list because Librarian and Timeless are kind of similar.
It only lasted for like
genre.
2 seasons.
Timeless, I think they took Timeless off the air because it was telling too many secrets. Like, I feel like
if that was the case, a lot more stuff would have been taken off.
Timeless was trying to send us subliminal messages, and they did not like it. They took it out because it was, you learn history, you kind of understood secret societies. We found out about, I think a lot of people would have found out about historical figures that they did not know about previously. Yeah. It was smart, it was well written, and it kept me on the edge of my seat. And I was so mad because they just ended it. Like, it seemed like they were not planning to end it.
And people were like, not protesting, but like.
Online, people were kind of starting their online protests to bring it back. So I think Timeless was a show that was underappreciated. To kind of match up with Girlfriends, I think The Game was a good show.
Oh, but that show pissed me off so bad.
Tasha Mack I wanted to be her best character. Like, oh my God, Tasha Mack was my favorite. But med school should
never have followed that man nowhere.
Well, that whole thing, I'm not going to speak on.
And what's crazy is when I watched it, I was like maybe 15, 16. I don't know. I was like a young teenager. And now, and I had a certain perception of like, oh, that wasn't that bad.
I don't know. Were you that young? Because I didn't let you watch the game when it first came on. I was watching it. Well, maybe I didn't, because I know when it first came on, you were young. You watched it
when the game first came on, it was like 2009. What are you talking about? Let's check the receipts.
So in 2009, you would have only been 7 years old.
I didn't watch it when it was first
Well, that's what I'm saying. I know I didn't let you watch that, because I watched it. Why is
it showing me the rapper? I don't want to see him.
But so the game, I think, touched on
it came out in 2006. I was 4. I was not watching it.
I know you didn't watch it, because I was watching it at night.
No, I watched it as a teenager, which is why I was like 16, 17, or 15, 16. And when I was watching it, I was like, oh, this is so cool. It's so cute. Now, with life experience, I'm like, she should have never even stepped foot near him.
And let's not fail to give Brandy her props for coming on there and really doing some good acting. Like her character, I can't remember the character's name. It's on the tip of my brain.
Who was she dating on the show?
She dated, I don't want to describe him the way that I want to describe him, but she dated the guy that had been married and divorced.
I know what you don't want to say.
Yeah, I don't want to say that. But Brandy really did a good job in that role. Was it Sharpay? What was her name? No, that
Chardonnay?
was Chardonnay. Chardonnay, I think, was her name. But Brandy did her big one with that one. Yeah. Another show that was Black camaraderie that was not appreciated, that really got copied, I think, Living Single. Everybody makes such a big deal about Friends, and no hate to Friends, because I watched every episode. I even had you watch every episode. Appreciate Ross and Rachel. But Living Single preceded Friends, and it was us as friends. It was a good show. It was, if you watched A Different World, it was what happened once they graduated. So to describe it,
unfortunately have never watched.
You got to watch A Different World and then follow.
I already watched A Different.
Okay, well then you need to watch Living Single, because Living Single,
Baby Please, I watched that show.
It picks up where Different World left off, in that now they're out of college, living single. It's not the same
characters though, right?
No, okay. Hold it.
I was about to say what?
Kim Fields, Queen Latifah, Erica Alexander, TK Carson, and I can't remember the guy that played Overton. I can't remember his name, my apologies. But that was a good ensemble cast. Kim Fields was, I think, at her best as the bougie, shady, but would come through in a clutch. She was the Whitley of the show, but she would come through in a clutch. Queen Latifah kept it real. Like, it was a good show. It was Girlfriends. But before, so it was like my age. Yeah, basically. In order, it would be A Different World, Living Single, Girlfriends. Like, that's the path that it would follow. Mm-hmm. But yeah, that was a really good show. That's 3 of mine. I got 2 more.
You said South Central, which I don't know what that is. South Central,
people probably won't remember, but that was when I first fell in love with my boo, Lorenz Tate. He was young on that show.
Brother.
The reason why I said that should be on there is South Central preceded all of the other Black shows in showing Black people as Black people. They were not trying to pretend to be something that they were not. They were living in a neighborhood that was not the ghetto, but also not the suburbs, like somewhere in between.
A regular Black neighborhood.
They had a Black mother who was divorced with 2 kids, and it was very real. I think it was too real for the times, and that's why it didn't continue. But it was a good show. You saw a Black mother raising her kids and not taking any shorts in a certain kind of way. And I think it preceded a lot of shows. And if it had come on TV at a later time period, then I think it would have lasted a lot longer. But
so it was like Insecure before Insecure, or no? Insecure that should have been on my list.
Insecure
is not talked about enough.
I can't even think of it. It was Good Times without the buffoonery.
Good Times was low key propaganda.
Yeah, it was good times without the buffoonery, and it was more realistic. Like, I was fairly young when that show came on. I wasn't a kid, but I was fairly young, and I can remember thinking, these are real Black people, like talking about real Black things.
Yeah.
South Central, Lorenz Tate was one of the stars. I can't remember the other people. They don't matter to me right now. But it was a good show.
Is Lorenz single?
No, he's married.
Oh, and I can't try to set you up.
Yeah, much respect to his wife. I think he is a good husband based on the way he talks about his wife. And that's another reason that makes him attractive is because he seems to be a good husband and father. I know I don't have a shot with Lorenz. Y'all don't have to tell me, so keep that. Okay. And then, so that's what, 4?
You said Pepper Ann?
Pepper Ann.
I have no idea what that
was
is.
A kid show that came on, but it could appeal to adults. Again, a single mother raising a
I thought this was a cartoon.
It's a cartoon. It's a cartoon.
A single mother?
That's what I'm trying to tell you.
That's a little heavy. That's like Bluey talking about miscarriages.
It was a single mother with 2 kids, Pepper Ann being the oldest, and she was navigating divorce. And like they talked about it in a way.
Navigating divorce in a cartoon?
Yes. They talked about it in a way that was kid friendly, that helped kids get through it. Like it was almost like
what, Mommy and Daddy?
Because it was a Disney. I believe Pepper Ann Pearson was on Disney Channel, and
Disney Channel.
It was on Disney Channel when the Disney Channel was brand
new. Why were you watching it then?
I've always been a Disney fan.
You were watching Disney Channel.
I was always a Disney fan, and when Disney Channel was kicking off, what they used to show was like the old World of Color and all the old Disney stuff, and then they slowly started to introduce original shows, and so I would watch it at night. I might have been pregnant with you, and like that was when I was waking up in the middle of the night to eat, to snack.
Okay.
And so I would watch the Disney Channel because it was soothing to my soul. That's probably why you love Disney so much, I swear. But I would wake up in the middle of the night to eat my snacks because I was eating for 2, and I would watch the Disney Channel. And then they slowly started to roll out original programming, and I believe Pepper Ann was one of the first shows that they rolled out. And even though I was an adult, I appreciated what they were trying to do with the show.
I probably have just seen it.
And then there's another show that wasn't on my list, Daria.
You said Mr. Rogers.
And of course, let's not leave out Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, because Mr. Rogers, even though I did not know him, I adored him. And they even had a documentary that said that he was the person in real life that he was on camera. I think that man probably saved a lot of kids and gave a lot of kids a safe place when they didn't have a safe place. So Mr. Rogers is a saint. Don't talk bad about Mr. Rogers in my house. I don't allow it because I just loved him. And in a lot of ways, the show was boring, but it also was very comforting to know that you had this adult person.
This is really deep in the recesses of my brain. Bear in the Big Blue House. Like just
with a real live person.
Or my personal favorite, and now she's doing ads for Crocs, and it's giving me life. I want to buy Crocs now. Lunette Molly.
I loved her.
The big comfy couch.
All of your shows, that's one good thing about parenting. If you're a good parent and you do it in the right way and at the right time in your life, you get to relive childhood. So like I had all my kid shows, and then I'm familiar with all the kid shows from your generation because I only
and
let
I mean
you
a
watch.
lot of them overlap, like Sesame Street, Electric Company. Like you grew up with all that, and it was still on. If PBS kid, Disney kid, I was all the kids because all I did was sit and watch TV.
Yeah, because I didn't watch adult programming for many, many years until you got old enough for me to feel comfortable watching stuff with you up and about, not necessarily in the room. But whatever you were watching was what I was watching, which is why I know so much about all the kids shows and stuff. But because I was usually cooking, cleaning, doing something with you watching TV in the background. But yeah, Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, I think it was an important show. That's why I'm so upset. We're not going to get political, but I'm so upset that funding to public broadcasting is being cut because I was raised on Mr. Rogers, Sesame Street, Electric Company. All of that helped make me who I am when you had wholesome TV, educational TV, safe TV that you could leave your kids in the room watching.
Now they're watching Love Islands and Baddies.
Yeah.
Anyway, what had happened was I saw this and I knew you'd have an opinion on it because I had an opinion on it. So let's read it. This person posted, "I'm getting married next spring. My sister is my maid of honor. She's been struggling with body image and I've been nothing but supportive. Last week, she asked me to see my dress. When I showed her, she went quiet and then said it was too revealing. It had a low back. She asked if I would pick something less attention-grabbing because she doesn't want to be overshadowed in the photos at her wedding." That part was me adding. Overshadowed at her wedding. "I told her gently that the wedding dress is about me, not her. I'm not changing it. She cried and said I'm prioritizing vanity over her feelings. Now she's threatening not to be in the bridal party. My fiance thinks she's being unreasonable, but my mom says I should compromise for peace. Am I a jerk for refusing to alter my dress for her insecurity?" First of all, she would have been out of my wedding party so fast. Don't even worry about the dress, babes. You're not coming to the wedding, actually. Because what do you mean? I don't understand how somebody could be trying to overshadow other people at their wedding.
Her sister needs to get a new dealer because that crack she's smoking, it ain't working for her. Are you crazy? It's your wedding and somebody's asking you to downplay your look and downplay yourself at your wedding?
I think an argument could be said for if the bride had picked a wedding dress that for the bridesmaids that she felt uncomfortable wearing.
If she was asking her to wear something. But even then,
not only go so far because I could just give somebody else if you don't want to follow the dress code or whatever. But that would be understandable.
This dress doesn't flatter me, so I don't want to wear it. But you gonna try to tell me what to wear at my wedding?
She seems like a hater. She seems like the type that she would disrupt the wedding and disrupt the marriage.
What that is saying is, I don't want you to look good on your wedding day. I don't want you to feel good on your wedding day. So no.
And the mom, something's wrong. Actually, the mom not coming to the wedding either.
This sounds like one of those households where you can't play a sport because your sister's not fast enough and strong enough to play the sport. Are you crazy? Like, no. Unless she was asking her to wear something that she felt uncomfortable in, what I'm wearing on my wedding day, just show up and be in the pictures. And if you can't just show up and be in the pictures, stay home.
You shouldn't even have, at the point that I have already picked the dress and I'm sending you a picture of the dress that I picked, you shouldn't even have even if the dress is ugly, don't even tell me at this point.
Because that's what
it's too late.
If she were asking, if you were trying on dresses and you were asking her opinion, how does it look? But if you pick that dress, that means that's the dress that you truly love. And for you to come in and backseat drive and try to tell me not to wear the dress that I picked, now, and she's not even saying it doesn't look nice on you. What she's saying is it looks too nice on you.
Your body is so T. I feel so bad about myself. You can't wear that dress anymore. And as I've been seeing constantly on TikTok for some reason, who you feeling like?
That's what I'm talking about.
At least what I'm wearing on my wedding day.
And then go over there and drink you something and take a nap. Cause
she don't need to go anywhere but just stay at home. Don't show up because now you're a problem.
And I
the
would
mom's
have,
a problem.
as I did at my wedding, I would have a designated person watch her. And if she even looks like she's going to do something out of pocket, just drag her right on out.
I feel like she would, based on her reaction to seeing the dress, she would pull something like, oh, oopsies, I spilled punch on your wedding dress.
No, you have to have designees at any type of event like that, but especially at a wedding that have been told who to watch out for. And if they get out of line, have them taken out. My Aunt Geraldine, I don't know if she'll watch this, but my Aunt Geraldine had talks with a couple of people at the wedding that had stuff to say, and she politely told them, my sister spent a lot of money and a lot of time for this day, so you either enjoy it or you can leave. But what you're not going to do is interrupt this wedding. And they knew by the look in her eyes, she meant exactly what she was saying. Thank you, Aunt Jordine. Because you got to have, and my bestie Karen, I had told her, if you see anybody even breathe hard at the wrong moments, escort them out. And she was on the ready.
I feel like I don't have no bodyguards. I guess it's going to be you. And you and Shapora and Tamara.
Look, it's going to be fun.
They aren't, what's the word I'm looking for? Aggressive enough.
But if I ask them to back me up, I feel like they'll back me up. Especially Shapora, I feel like they would back me up. But no, nobody's going to, first of all, you don't have those kind of friends or people that are going to come and be disruptive.
Well.
But if they were, it's handled. It's handled. That's not a problem.
That's why I always say I want something super small, dare I say out of the country, so nobody can just pop up and come by. You had to have an invitation. You had to book a flight to get here, babes. You're not just popping up and saying hello. Because I feel like a lot of families, they just feel like, oh, so-and-so's getting married.
And they're automatically invited. I mean, unless I felt like they were going to be a troublemaker, if somebody just showed up, I wouldn't necessarily turn them away, but come in and sit down and be quiet.
I think just popping up at someone's event is
I think that's distasteful
crazy.
And inappropriate, but if somebody did that, if they were desperate enough to do that, as long as they came in and sat down, and because we're going to always have enough food, but come sit down and be quiet.
But you know what one couple did that I thought was really smart is they told...
Wait, hold on.
What?
Let's back up. There are certain people that better not come popping up uninvited because they will be escorted out.
They're not even know.
But anyway, okay, go ahead.
As I was saying, the one couple was smart about it because they probably knew they had some troublemakers in the family or friend groups or whatever. They told all of their loved ones that they wanted to be there, that they were having an engagement party. And at the engagement party, they surprised everyone and said, like, oh, actually, we're getting married. And I thought that was really, even though I wouldn't necessarily want to do it like that.
But what if somebody couldn't make it ish and they were like, oh,
well,
it's just the engagement party?
You just tell that one person, like, hey.
Because I'm thinking, like, I might have been like, okay, the engagement party, not a big deal. I'll go to the wedding. And then
I'm sure they would have had that conversation
with the most important people. Yeah.
But I would just be concerned that people aren't like dressed up that as much as they need to be.
Well, that's why if you have the party, you send out invitations and you have a dress code. Be like, it's an engagement
or just say,
party,
like, be photo ready or whatever.
or something. But
they were just in somebody's backyard and they got married.
Yeah, but I feel like people's wedding is their wedding. Like, unless they're asking you to do something immoral or illegal, just show up and be a good guest.
Yeah.
And if you're part of the bridal party, your job is to have the bride have the best day of her life and be happy.
This is why you can't, just because people are family or people are close friends, make them in charge of things for your wedding day, because they will screw it up or they won't be dependable.
Or sabotage.
I have a short list. I have a very short list. Is somebody offended? Oh, well, it's not your day. You can still come sit in the audience and eat food.
Yeah. Well, it's going to be your day, but since I'm probably going to be the person paying for it.
I feel like I'm going to be a bridezilla and we're going to start arguing.
You are going to be, but it'll be fine. It'll be fine because I was not a bridezilla, but I wanted how I wanted. And me and my mom clashed, but we made it through it.
But I'm going to be I want this, I want this. I've always said I don't care about it being big, but the dress and the food needs to be on point.
We're not going to clash on wedding day. We're going to be done had all them clashes
not on
before.
Wedding day, but in terms of like picking the dress, being like I feel like you're gonna be a little too hands-on, and I'm gonna be like, take those hands off because I got it. I already know.
I don't think so,
Mom.
I don't think so.
Really?
I don't.
You don't?
I mean, no, I honestly don't.
I think you're gonna be the same way when I have kids. I think you're
now when it comes to the kids, absolutely. I feel like your wedding, you do what you want to with that, but my grandchildren. I'm gonna be all up in there.
You being a grandmother does not supersede me being a future mother.
I already told you I'm gonna be Grandtangela. Because I'm gonna be
Grandtangela. I'm telling you, they're not calling you
when
that.
it comes to my grandkids, I'm gonna be all up in there. Yes, because I want them raised right.
We're gonna have arguments.
I want them raised right. And I want them to be treated well. I'm gonna be all up in there.
That's true, but some stuff that you did with me, I don't plan on doing with them, and I know you're gonna take issue with it. Like I said, they're gonna go trick or treating. You didn't let me go trick or treating, and you already told me they're not going trick or treating. How you gonna tell me?
I'll have a conversation with them when you're not around.
This is why we're gonna have arguments.
Oh my.
This is exactly why my boyfriend said you probably don't need to be in the delivery room because I'm gonna be stressed.
No, he don't want no need to be in the delivery room. I don't know how to have a baby. He don't know how to have a baby.
Anyway, moving on, because that's not going to happen for another 10 years, like I just told my coworker. Anyway.
Ooh. Yes. Okay.
But this is a great segue into the Ask a Gemini, talking about kids. You know more than me because I don't have kids.
Right.
And obviously you have me, and I'm, your life's purpose and mission and best thing that ever happened to you.
All of that.
But you actually came up with this question. Where do you draw the line from helping your kids get better versus accepting them for who they are? So I'm assuming you mean like if they're a little bit slow, working with them versus accepting.
Yeah.
Or I don't want to say slow. That seems.
That's kind of harsh. But working with children for many, many years, sometimes I've run into parents who are at either extreme. They're either trying to push a child that doesn't have certain capabilities as though they do. And it's like, I know you want them to be a straight A student, or you want them to make, all A's, whatever and stuff, but maybe English is not their jam, maybe math is not their jam, so you just gotta let that go. And like hounding teachers and wanting to know what can they do. They have done what they can do. They may be a B student or a C student in whatever subject or whatever, and you need to just let it go.
Yeah.
On the flip side, there's parents that make excuses for their kids. Oh, they can't. I'll tell you a story from when I was teaching back in the day. Had a parent who had a child who had documented issues. The child definitely had some issues. This was before autism was so prevalent or whatever and stuff, but he had some stuff. It was obvious he had some stuff. But this lady, this kid kind of keyed into the mom always making excuses for him and always having an explanation for everything he did. She sent a letter to the school saying that this child did not know basically the difference between right and wrong. Like she did not want him punished. What type of condition he had? She didn't want him punished because he did not know when he's doing things wrong. So now the rest of my team is reading this letter, frowning and upset and accepting this. And I said, hold on, wait a minute. She's saying he doesn't understand the difference between right and wrong. She does not want him punished. I said, but I'm not buying it. And they were like, well, we can't do anything. She has documentation. I said, but think about it. Every time we've ever caught that kid doing something wrong, he has lied about it. He has he has lied. I said, if you don't know you did something wrong, why would you lie? Why would you try to cover it up? Like he'd just be like, duh, like whatever. No, he would lie and try to, I said, so therefore, this little caper that she's trying to pull, it's over and it's not happening in my class. When I tell him to sit down, he's going to sit down in my room. Because he would want to do stuff like just get up and walk around the room and do all kind of stuff. And they were like, well, his mom said he can't. Oh, yes, he can. And when he came in this black woman's room, he sat down and he did just like the other kids. I said, he has trained her to accept all of this shenanigans or whatever, but no.
But on the flip side, I don't like when I see parents choosing to pretend like a child doesn't have some like neurodivergency or something. And like they're like, oh, not my kid. And I feel like specifically black parents would be like, oh, not my kid. And it's just like, can you get the child the help that they need?
There's such a big epidemic of people wanting to identify or have these labels and stuff because it makes life easier for them sometimes as parents.
But I wouldn't say that people want to identify. I personally think a lot more people have neurodivergency than especially in the black community.
There's a lot of it that goes undiagnosed and undocumented, but on the flip side, there are a lot of people that get these diagnoses and get these different extra things for their kids because it's easier than sitting down and helping them with their homework. No. It's easier to say, they can't do. So, and we're going to document that they can't do so that you can't require them to do.
I don't think it should be used as an excuse, but I do think that people should be acknowledging if this kid learns better in this environment, or this kid learns better like this, or this person can be expected to reach this expectation, but then this student might not be able to reach the habit expect. Like, you should have a baseline for instance, I'm not saying that I'm neurodivergent, but if you put me in a math class, baby, your expectations got to be low.
I'm being one of those parents because you made A's in math.
But
you did math that there's a difference between can't do it and don't like it, and you could do it.
Look at my ACT score. There's a high reading and there's a low math.
Yeah, you definitely were stronger in language than in math.
Like the expectations that you would have had for me with math and science would have been like, okay, you're gonna pass the class and you're gonna do well, and like I still got A's in class because I'm an overachiever, but I was stressing myself out because it took me actually I never had to study for reading or English. Like it clicked. But for math and science and stuff like that, I had to put forth effort.
I would have even though you were smart and everybody knew that you were academically inclined, but I would have never tried to encourage you to go to school for engineering or for go to medical school because that was not your thing. I recognize where your strengths were. And that's where I push you. But there are some, we need a doctor in the family. You should be a doctor. Well, Imari ain't it.
No.
Like, Imari's not going to be that doctor. She's going to excel at what she does, but Imari's not going to be your mathematician or your doctor. I knew that.
I would have lost my mind.
I knew that. So, no, I think you have to identify where your child excels and encourage those things. As a kid, and I tell my current students this all the time, as a kid, I would always save the editing. There was in your little book that I had at home when I was teaching you, editing. You always love doing that. You always love going in and finding where the comma should have been, where the period should have been. So I knew that the language was going to be your strength. And that's exactly what your first job out of college was. And it didn't hit me until you were doing it. It's I'll be darned. That's what she liked to do.
It's very satisfying to copy edit
something. You gotta be present as a parent, see what your child is leaning towards. We got a family member right now that I keep telling him he's gonna be a veterinarian or he's going to be a zoologist or something because that child loves animals. But tap into that.
I would say you also have to push your kids to not just stick into their comfort zones. Because when I was a little kid, I was so shy. I hated talking. I hated talking to people. Now I love interviewing and being on camera and editing and going out and shooting stories and a bunch of stuff that my older family members was like, "Mari doing what now?" Post-grad, because I was so
you were shy. But what was funny about you is you've always been competitive. So
I've been a slight show pony my entire life.
And you've always been a show pony. And I can remember when you were at the Little Daisies at the Daisies, and you had not, like, you had been in your shell, you had been participating or whatever, but not talking much. And just so happened, it was during the time that I was doing movie reviews for the Ledger, and I had to go to the Ledger, like, before Daisy. And the guy offered to show us
around. The Ledger is a local newspaper for people that don't know.
He offered to show us around the news, station or whatever the newspaper station. That day at the Daisies happened to be a day that you were supposed to share something. And it was so funny because when it came your time, everybody was used to you being mousy and not saying it.
I don't even remember this.
I do. I remember. And that's when I knew, she going to be fine. You were like, well, I went to, and it was like, she talks.
No, trying to brag.
No. I was like, she talks when she has something to say. And I was good with that.
See, I'm an introvert until you get to know me, and then I'm an extrovert. And in a certain circle, like at work, I'm an extrovert just because, like, that's my job is to talk to people and whatever all day. But if you don't know me, then I don't have nothing to say because I don't know you.
Yeah, but I was never like everybody's like, you got to make her. I was like, she's going to be fine. She is going to be fine because I knew what I was seeing at home, and I knew, like, it's like,
but what's crazy is as a kid, because I know how to play piano, and as a kid, I thought I was going to be a pianist. I thought I was going to be the next Alicia Keys for a minute. But I had terrible stage fright. I did not like playing in front of other people, and I never got over that. But I also grew out of not liking to talk in front. Like I eventually grew to being able to host and talk or whatever. But I still don't like playing piano in front of people.
Yeah, it's one of those things where you gotta, like, pay attention to your kid. If they need help, get them help. Don't let somebody skip over the fact that they may need help, but at the same time, don't weaponize that. Yeah. Like, I see a lot of parents weaponizing the fact that they can go get all this documentation, and then now this kid who is quite capable of doing a lot more than what the parents are asking them to do. Some of it is, I hate to say it, but the parents don't want to rise to the occasion, so they get documentation so that the kid can do less, so that they have to do less as parents. And that is not a good thing, because the world is going to eat them alive if they don't get off of that. Like, the world is going to eat them. Nobody's going to say, okay, well, you don't have to be as quick at the drive-through, or you don't have to...
The drive-through?
Because, you don't have to follow the AP style, if they work at a news station. Like, there's certain places that are not going to accept and not going to adjust to them. So you need to push them to be as good as they can be, the best that they can be, but then also fight for them if you need to fight for them, if they need some type of adjustment or situation or whatever and stuff. But, like, I worry about that sometimes, that you got the two extremes, people that make excuses and don't require the kids to do anything, and then you got people that are trying to make the kids do stuff that they're not ready for or able to do. Like, it's a mess.
Not a me problem at the moment. Moving on to Gemini gems. Do you want me to go first? Do you want to go first?
You can go
You probably
first.
Don't even remember
I can't remember what mine is, so I'm stalling. You go first.
I was just going to say that I discovered this on TikTok. Didn't know that it was a thing that us black girlies with curly hair could use. The Kendra anti-humidifying spray, or anti-humidity spray, the number 5. Kendra number 5. It also works on curly hair. I have just been using it on, like, silk presses and when I blow my hair out to preserve it and to keep the humidity from getting to it. But I realized when I did my last wash and go, I did my last twist out and I sprayed it, and my curls lasted almost a week without puffing up and getting frizzy. And it had been rainy, it had been humid outside, I had been outside, and I was good. So if y'all have curly hair or y'all have any hair type, you can use it, and it actually does, in Florida, protect you from humidity, which says a lot.
Okay, cue me, because I still can't remember. I was sitting here trying to think.
The Vaseline.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I knew it was tied to hair, but it's like my mind is just blanking. Okay, so if you color your hair, I don't know anything about that, but if you color
Really?
If you color your hair...
Because I distinctly remember helping with some stuff.
If you color your hair and you find that, like, once you've rinsed your color out, you got, like, some color on your ear or color where you don't want it, one of the ways that you can prevent that from happening is to, like, take some Vaseline and just kind of outline your hairline, put it on your ear, put it on the back of your neck, so that when you're putting the color on your hair, you don't end up with color in places that you don't want it. And when you rinse your hair, you can just wipe the Vaseline or whatever off, but, like, it'll help keep from, like, having that black line or, black smudge on your ear.
Especially if you're doing, like, red hair.
Especially if you could do a dark color, like, so Anyway, that's the Gemini gem that I forgot that I wanted to share.
Okay. Yeah. Good thing that I'm here.
I'm glad you're there with the cue card.
Well, the cue phone. I do need to make some cue cards. Maybe y'all will see that in the next episode. But don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Period.